Tonight is a very special occasion as we are excited to hear a discussion on the relationship between science and religion. With us tonight are four prominent scholars from diverse philosophical backgrounds here to discuss this topic. First, I would like to give a brief introduction of the scholars with us tonight. We have the pleasure of hearing again from Dr. Alvin Plantinga. Many of us here had the pleasure of hearing from Dr. Plantinga's discussion last night on atheism versus evolution. Dr. Plantinga received his MA in philosophy from the University of Michigan and his PhD in philosophy from Yale University. Dr. Plantinga's wide-ranging philosophical interests and important contributions figure perhaps most prominently in metaphysics and epistemology, specifically as related to philosophy of religion. He is currently the John A. O'Brien Professor of Philosophy at the University of Notre Dame. We also have the privilege of hearing from Dr. Richard Gale. Dr. Gale received his MA and PhD in philosophy from New York University. Dr. Gale's main philosophical interests and chief contributions are in metaphysics, philosophy of religion, and pragmatism. He is presently the adjunct professor of philosophy at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. Also, we are honored to have with us Dr. Quentin Smith. Dr. Smith received his MA and PhD in philosophy from Boston College, and his primary areas of interest are metaphysics, philosophy of religion and naturalism, philosophy of time, ethics, and philosophy of science. He's presently a professor of philosophy and University Distinguished Faculty Scholar at the University of Western Michigan. Finally, we are honored to have with us Dr. William Lane Craig. Dr. Craig holds two doctorates, one in philosophy from the University of Birmingham, England, and one in systematic theology from the University of Munich, Germany. Dr. Craig's areas of particular interest and expertise include philosophy of religion, the historicity of Jesus Christ's resurrection, and the philosophy of time. He is currently research professor of philosophy at Talbot School of Theology. I would like also to introduce for tonight's moderator, Mr. Keith Abney. Mr. Abney received multiple degrees also, including an MA in History and Philosophy of Science from the University of Notre Dame, an MA in Theology from Fuller Theological Seminary, and an MA in Philosophy from the University of Notre Dame. Here at Cal Poly, Mr. Abney teaches many classes, including Philosophy of Science, Philosophy Classics, and Ethics. So without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Abney, who will further explain the format of tonight's event. Thank you.
Good evening. Thanks for coming. I see there are quite a few of you. We're going to begin tonight with a few remarks by me. I'll start with some preliminary remarks about how this is going to work. We're going to have, after I finish my remarks, 4 opening statements, each with a response. Each of our 4 panelists will get a 10-minute shot at articulating their view about the relationship of science and religion. Again, one of the other panelists will then give a 5-minute response after each presentation. At the end of that time, we will then begin a free dialogue amongst the panelists. I'll be moderating that. That should last about 20 minutes. I'll try to keep them from throwing things at each other.